Good morning, AP. I just wanted to introduce you to your new assignment for today. Don't forget, before we start anything else, that you have to go to Power School and just check into all of your classes there today as well. But let's go back to Google Classroom now. Say you've done that. Let's go back to Google Classroom. The first thing you see on Google Classroom as it pops up is the stream. But we don't want the stream. The stream is where I kind of give you the announcements, just anything that I need to share with you. But the classwork is where we need to go for the actual work. Let's go ahead and click on that. So we've got that. If we come down, today's assignment, as most of the assignments have been, we're either working on AP Lit Review, the College Board videos, or Short Fiction 3 for the time being. Yesterday's assignment was the Common Lit, Lamb to the Slaughter. Today's assignment is figurative language. Now, it's up there as material, but it's actually an assignment, but it's not anything you have to turn in on Google Classroom. It's going to be turned in through a different thing. So let's take a look here. So here we have the actual assignment. It says, please complete the attached worksheet on figurative language and then work on the writing assignment for No Red Ink on our story. Keep in mind we're practicing for our AP test, so you should try to time your writing to 45 minutes from start to finish. So the No Red Ink is something new for us. I'm going to go over that in a moment, but let's make sure we know how to actually type onto a PDF. Some of you are doing it in different ways, and that's okay as long as it's working for you, whatever works to upload. But let's take a look at that. I'm going to click on Lamb to the Slaughter, the PDF. Once we go up to that PDF, you'll notice that there's no way to kind of do much at all with it at the moment. There's no way to be able to write on it. So we've got to come over here to I'm just going to kind of highlight over here. If we come over here to our three little dots over here, I'm going to click on that. And it says open in a new window. I'm going to open it in a new window. That should take but just a minute. And when we open it in a new window, we have a couple of other options available to us now once it's finished up there. So we should be able to come up. Now we should have this little button at the top here that says Open With. So we'll go ahead and click on that. All of you have access to this, to DocHub. You should be able to see that here. So go ahead and click on DocHub, and that'll open it up as an editable document. You should be able to kind of work and type straight onto this document through DocHub. DocHub's a pretty cool thing to be able to use to highlight as you're reading material. It might be useful to you, not just for now, but for college next year as well. If the professors put anything up on PDFs, it's a great way to be able to kind of highlight instead of having to print it off and highlight, just highlight straight on the screen. I'm somebody who likes to print off the work. I like to do it by hand. And if that's you, that's okay too. If you just want to kind of scan back in your handwritten answers, that's fine. Or upload a photo, a clear photo of your handwritten answers, print it off and then write on it. I have no issue with that either. And so now we're in DocHub, we should be able to kind of type straight into our document. So if I come up here now to the add text section, I should be able to just click on that and come down and click. It's creating a text box there. So I'm going to go and type in my name. So you'll type in your name there into the text box, etc. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to, this is kind of attached to your work and I don't want to screw anything up. But you should be able to do the same thing for your answers here. It will add a text box, but you just go ahead and type straight into the text box for your answers there. And you'll see that there are 3 sections to this handout today. So go ahead. We're looking mostly at figurative language because that's what our prompt question is asking about. So getting you to be thinking about figurative language in the story before we actually go to the writing piece. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of that. Let's go back to Google Classroom. Let's assume you've done that worksheet today. This can either be done, the rest of the assignment can either be done today or tomorrow. As you know, our schedule is kind of, we're meeting once every 2 days. But I still expect you to kind of be working on through these things. So let's go ahead here now. We're going to go over to No Red Ink, which is where you will see your writing prompt. Now, I was a little misguided in No Red Ink. I thought it was something that I could set the time for, but I can't. So that's going to be up to you. if you're doing it well, if you're I want you to kind of set yourself a time limit for this essay, because the AP test itself will only be 45 minutes long. So once you actually get into the writing process of this, I'd like you to kind of time yourself, see how long it takes, right, to finish up the essay. Our goal is to narrow that time down to get as close to that 45 minutes as possible. Now, on No Red Ink, what this actually does is it takes us through the lit analysis essay, right? So you skip through the tutorial, you kind of read through the tutorial about lit analysis. That has to be done. You need to go through that, read through that. For me, I get to skip it because I am the teacher. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that because that's something you'll kind of scroll your way through. Skip tutorial. And this should take us straight to our actual essay. So what we have here is we have the directions. Then we have our prompt down this side. And again, I've put the section about trying to time yourself. The closer you get to 45 minutes. We also, if we come down on the left-hand side, we'll notice that there's a rubric, right, for the things that you need to do. And again, down here, if you want to go back and take a look at any of the lessons on how to write a lit analysis essay, that's all there. So we've got room here for you to add your title. When you're ready to add your title, you just go ahead and click. Don't be afraid to change that up later, right? You don't even have to do that yet. You could do that last if you prefer. Next is our introduction. You'll notice here it gives, along the left-hand margin, we have our little guides and tutorials again, along with some examples. So the hook, the bridge is what we called in our process essay. We called it, I think, commentary, background, that kind of stuff. So we're narrowing down our focus, our hook. Please go back and take a look at the packets that were given to you just as a reminder for hook that we used with the Kite Runner essay. They're also all up online, so feel free to take a look at those in Google Classroom. Then, so we've got hook, gives you a little bit of information, the bridge, and thesis statement gives you a little bit of information. Please remember your kind of leads to statement where possible, where it fits. Not all of these essays are going to be the same, but think about that. So we've got our introduction, body paragraphs. If I click on that, again, don't forget you need topic sentences, evidence, explanation. Try to follow the same process as you did for our process essay on the Kite Runner. So we've got room for a couple of body paragraphs there, and finally your conclusion. So that's pretty much the process that you're going to work through. It will guide you to kind of upload that when you're finished. And tell you what to do. It'll take you through that whole process. I kind of like this because it reminds you of what's necessary as you're writing. But that's about it for that No Red Ink and the Dot Cub. So we're going to leave it there for today, but please do your best job. Ultimately, what I'm trying to do is just see how you're going. I want to make sure you're prepared for that AP test. I will be next week uploading more of the AP College Board videos. You don't have to wait for me to upload those. You can go ahead and look at those at any time that you want to. That's it. All right. Hopefully I see you hopefully if you need to check in and get clarification on any of this, please check into my office hours today or tomorrow, depending on what class period you're in. You're free to come into any office hour period actually. But just understand that if I'm working with students who need help from that particular period, you may have to wait your turn. That's all. All right. Take care, guys.